Shaw. Line judge, Tim Bolton and back judge, Mark Hansen.
And welcome to Jones Dairy Farm Stadium. I'm Brett Ketterman. Glad to have you along on this special Fort Atkinson High School YouTube broadcast, also streaming live on the Fort Atkinson High School Facebook page. And it's a sunny day here at Jones Dairy Farm Stadium. The Fort Atkinson Blackhawks at 2-1, hosting the Sauk Prairie Eagles at 0-3. The Hawks coming off an impressive 20-6 win over the Reedsburg Beavers last week that saw the Blackhawks and the Beavers tied 6-6 at the end of 3, and the Blackhawks dominated the fourth quarter to come away with the victory. Alec Courtier with over 100 yards rushing. He's 99 shy of 1,000 career rushing yards. We'll see if he can get it tonight here against the Eagles, as the Blackhawks, wearing their home black jerseys, will elect to receive the football. The last home game was here. Dane Brose set the motions off with an 85-yard kickoff return. We'll see what happens here tonight. Welcome to week number 4 of the high school football season. And it's a short kick taken by the Hawks at about the 22. Taken to the 35, where the Blackhawk offense will start from scratch. Cade Cosson on the return. Blackhawks offensive line. Will start Cade Hine and Carlos Baez at the tackles. The guards will be Carson Schrader and Randeep Pangli, and the center, 6'6" senior Josh Juarez. 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks on their own 35. Baker back on the play action, has Opperman in the middle of the field. First down, crosses midfield, taken down at the 45. Jack Opperman, big game last week. 2 catches for 27 yards, as the Hawks have started getting the tight end a little bit more involved in their offense.
By Eddie Friday. First down, Blackhawks. They're at the Eagles' 45-yard line.
So it'll be first down for the Blackhawks at the Eagles' 45-yard line. Acosta, the receiver on the near side. Baker in the pistol, hands it off. Wide open up the middle, Dudzek crosses the 30, taken down at the 23-yard line. There's a flag on the play around the 30. So we'll see who the penalty is on. If it stands, it'll go for a 21-yard run for Dudzek. And the penalty will be on the Eagles, so it'll stay a 21-yard gain for Evan Dudzek. 1st and 10 for the Hawks on their opening drive at the Eagles' 24-yard line. Courtier with the ball, cuts it back up the middle, drags a few Eagle players, and he crosses the 15 for another big pickup. Courtier with a gain of about 11.
Please report underneath the
1st and 10 on the 14. Blackhawks, an impressive opening drive. Acosta and Cosson are the receivers on the near side. Handoff Courtier, right side. Can't quite evade a tackle as he'll pick up a good 4 yards. So it'll bring up 2nd and 6. 10:24 to go in the first quarter, as the Blackhawks with a very impressive opening drive here so far. And we got a lot of movement down there on 2nd and 6. We'll see if the movement was on the Hawks or if it was on the Eagles. It's going to be on the Eagles, offside, so it'll be 2nd and 1. I should also note that at the left guard is Drew Evans. Evans, the all-conference player, the 250-pound, 6'6" senior, missed the first few weeks due to an illness, but he is back now, anchoring that left side of the line. 2nd and 1. Courtier in the backfield gets the ball. Right side up the middle then. Will easily pick up the first down after a gain of about 2.
Chase Elson made the stop for the Eagles.
So brings up 1st and goal on the 5. Blackhawks again coming in at 2 and 1. Their lone loss the opening week versus Milton. Handoff Dudzek, right side, touchdown Blackhawks. Evan Dudzek from 5 yards out. Dudzek with his 2nd touchdown of the season. And now on for the extra point will be Eli Carson Baker for the hold. Snap, hold are good, and the kick is good as well. Blackhawks out to an early lead, 7-0.
Blackhawks take a 7-0 lead.
A very, very impressive opening drive for the Blackhawks. The short kick sets up a 65-yard drive for the Hawks. One pass through the air completed to Jack Opperman early in the drive, and then it was Evan Dudzek and Alec Courtier doing the rest.
Young and old. You can sign up your 2-person team at the concession
Blackhawks
stand.
out to a fantastic start. Something that's plagued the Blackhawks over the years is being able to get out to a start and really get the momentum behind you, especially here at Jones Dairy Farm Stadium. They had a home win a few weeks ago against West Bend West, and it was their first victory at home in about 3 or 4 years, I believe. So it's just one of those situations. This is a fantastic start. Again, as I mentioned, versus that West Bend West game, a touchdown on the opening kickoff sparked the Hawks to an easy win. They're hoping for the same thing here tonight. Here comes Cosson's kick from the 40. It's going to be an end-over-end short taken at the 24 by Parker Hooper. Hooper still on his feet. It's taken down by Lance Schultz and Tyler Narkis on the special teams.
By Braden Sayer and Tyler Narkis of the Blackhawks.
So we'll bring you the starting defensive starters for the Blackhawks here. The line, Jack Opperman, Zach Grossman, and Sheldon Burnett. Burnett having himself a game a few weeks ago all over the place. He's got 12 tackles, 4 of them for a loss. Eagles hands it off to Vills. Nolan Vills, the 6'2 junior, plunges forward for about 2 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Nolan Vills, the ball carrier for the Eagles.
The linebacking crew for the Blackhawks, Logan Reckham, Tristan Hansen, Alec Courtier, and Lance Schultz manning the middle of the field. And then your defensive backs, Dane Brost, Jacob Ashland, Cade Cosson, and Mason Brandel. Handoff to Vills. Vills has a little bit of an opening, still on his feet, picks up the first down, gain of about 9, moving the chains. Boy, Vills was an animal out there just chugging along.
Cade Cosson made the stop for the Blackhawks.
So it'll bring up 1st and 10 on the Eagles' 36-yard line as they trail 7-0 to Fort Atkinson. Handoff Vills once again, this time met by 3 players in black. Vills will pick up a hard-earned 2.5 yards. Looked like Logan Reckham along with Sheldon Burnett in on that stop.
Tristan Hansen. Logan Recca on the stop for the Blackhawks.
Quarterback for the Eagles, Jackson Brunig. Not much stats, as not much was entered in WIS Sports, the premier spot to find out all high school sports. It's going to be a handoff to Damian Wright Rodriguez. He'll try to get to the outside edge and cut it up and only pick up about a yard before the Hawks are able to bring him down by Dane Brost. So 3rd and 5 in Eagle territory. 7:08 remains in the first quarter.
3rd and 5.
Brunig under center, who's Mason Stratham. Brunig back to pass, and he slips, and Logan Recca will get taken down, will get credited for that sack, as he's the nearest player and would have taken him down anyways. Brunig slipped. It'll be a loss of about 7, bringing out the punt team for the Eagles. Again, the Eagles coming into tonight 0-3
Now for the Eagles.
with losses to Monroe, Beaver Dam, and Mount Horeb Barneveld. In fact, in those 3 games, they've been outscored 111-15. It'll be a low punt taken by Gross. Gross at the 30 gets to the numbers and cuts up, where he's met with resistance by Nolan Vills. But either way, it'll be a good return for the Blackhawks. They'll get the ball with forward progress listed at their own 43-yard line. Fort Atkinson 7, Sauk Prairie 0, 6:17 to go in the first. Another defensive stop for the Blackhawks. They did a great job against Reedsburg. Reedsburg scored their only touchdown early in the 3rd quarter. Handoff Courtier. He's got a blocker. Drew Evans. Boy, Drew Evans took out 3 different players. Courtier, the benefactor of those blocks, picking up, they're going to call it just short of the first down. They're going to call it 9 yards. But Drew Evans just manhandled 3 different linemen and linebackers. Welcome back, Drew Evans. That's where the Hawks have been missing from that line. 2 receivers on the far side of the field. Baker back to pass. It's going to go right down the middle, and it's caught by Acosta for the first down. And he'll be taken down near the 40 for a pickup of 8.
Carson Baker's pass was complete to Ryan Acosta.
Well, you can just see Baker week after week getting more confidence in that pocket. He's been the starting quarterback as a sophomore. He was injured halfway through the season. Having a pretty good year for a sophomore quarterback. Again, last year as a junior with the spring shortened season. Did a great job, but now this senior year, each game he has improved. Handoff Courtier. Gets swung around and will pick up 5.
Chase Elsing, the tackler.
31 yards for Courtier in this early going. Again, he coming into tonight's game 99 yards shy of 1,000 career rushing yards. We'll see if he can pick it up here tonight. 7-0 Fort Atkinson, 4:47 to go in the first. Courtier in the backfield. Gets the handoff straight up the middle. He'll be taken down by Jace Elsing, but not before he picks up another 4.
Once again, the tackle by Jace Elsing.
Again, last week Courtier had over 100 yards. There was about 4 other running backs for the Blackhawks that had about 4 carries for about 15 yards. So they all added up in that impressive win over the Beavers. Not very fun conditions. I was there watching the Palms team as my daughter's on the Palms team and watching the game, and I'll tell you what, it was not fun sitting out there in the rain, but the Blackhawks overcame it. Cosson in motion. Baker hits him and he drops it.
Carson Baker's pass.
Pass was on the money and a rare drop by Cade Cosson, who had a tremendous game in West Bend West on both sides of the ball. Had 2 interceptions and did a great job catching and running that ball as well. Over 40 yards, I believe, all-purpose yards in that win 2 weeks ago. So 4th and 2. Hawks going for it. Courtier and Dudzek in the backfield. It'll be Dudzek with the carry. Gets hit at the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play. We'll see Dudzek. They're going to mark him about a half a yard short. So if the penalty's on the Blackhawks, it'll be Sauk Prairie's ball, and they're indicating that it was a false start on the Hawks. Penalty will be declined. So Dudzek picks up only 1 yard, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Indicated against the Blackhawks. Penalty is declined. Eagles take over on downs.
So Sauk Prairie will have the ball with 3:50 to go in the first, trailing by 7. Brunig breaks the breaks the huddle, I should say. Vils and Wright Rodriguez in the backfield. It'll be Wright Rodriguez. Waits for his blockers, opening up a little hole, and Wright Rodriguez will pick up 4. 2nd and 6.
Stopped by Evan Dudzic and Jack Opperman.
Evan Dudzic and Jack Opperman in on the stop for the Blackhawks. Opperman again, each week has been improving at that lineman position and at that tight end. He had a couple of nice catches last week and a couple of nice stops. Opperman with 6 tackles to make it 7 on the season. Second and medium, handoff Wright Rodriguez. He's hit right away by the Blackhawks, Zach Grossman, and Rodriguez will lose about 2 yards. So it'll bring up 3rd and 6. Burnett also in on that tackle. Well, I'll tell you what, again, this defensive line coming up big. Once again, Mike Schwartz coming in for Opperman, giving him a breather here before hopefully a 4th down. And Opperman's back out there at the tight end position. 3rd and long. Brunig back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket. Pass throw and tipped incomplete. No flags on the play. It'll bring up 4th down. And the punting team coming out once again. Henry Watson. Check it. Bradley Brunig, the punter. Watson's a gunner on the far side of the field. Back to receive is Brost and Kasson, and it's a very short punt. Sauk Prairie will down it. It'll go for a punt of 6 yards, which will not help the Eagles matter, as the Blackhawks, for the 3rd time, will take the field, leading 7-0 with 2:13 to go. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to the YouTube channel by the Fort Atkinson High School or on Facebook Live. All home games will be streamed. I'll be joining you for every home football game this season. Glad to have you along. 1st and 10 for the Hawks at the Eagles' 41-yard line. Baker back to pass. It's going to go on the near side to Acosta with the catch taken down by Watson. It'll be a short gain of about 3. And we'll call it 2. So Acosta with 10 yards receiving on 2 catches.
For the Eagles. Short game with 2nd and 8.
So 2nd and 8 for the Hawks. Courtier, Baker. Handoff, Alec. Alec left side. He'll gain about 3 yards on forward progress. And it'll bring up 3rd and about 5. I would say probably 4-down territory, especially with how the Blackhawk defense has been stellar once again here tonight. 1:09 to go until the quarter break. Baker back to pass. Rolls to his right. Has Opperman for the 1st down and more.
Complete to Jack Opperman.
We'll call it a gain of 12 for Jack Opperman.
Blackhawk first down. The stop by Damian Wright Rodriguez.
Once again, the Blackhawks using Opperman at that tight end in those passing situations. Opperman is a gigantic target, 6'6". Besides Drew Evans, those are the two tallest players on this Coach Nick Nelson squad. Gross and Acosta on the far side, handoff Courtier. Courtier rumbles right up the middle, still on his feet. They'll call him forward progress and give him 5.
The
17 seconds to go, and the Blackhawks will probably just run it out for the quarter, and that's exactly what they will do, as Fort Atkinson coming to the sideline at the quarter break, leading 7-0.
We'd like to introduce the girls' tennis team. The girls' tennis team is off to a fast start this year. There are a lot of new faces on the team, and players continue to improve daily. The girls have won 5 matches so far this season. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Here at quarter break, Fort Atkinson High School leads Sauk Prairie 7-0, as out on the field, the cross-country team and girls tennis getting introduced. It's nice they give each fall sporting team a little recognition. 2 weeks ago it was the girls swim team, and I believe the volleyball team. This week cross-country, after an impressive meet last Saturday, getting recognized as well as the tennis team, and the Palms team doing a sweet pyramid down there between quarter break. Again, after the end of the first quarter, Alec Courtier 43 yards rushing, Evan Dudzik with 27 yards and a touchdown. And in the passing game, Carson Baker 4 for 5 for 42 yards, Opperman with 30 yards, and Ryan Acosta has the other 2 catches for 10. Blackhawks back out on the field. Baker back to pass. Hits Courtier on the running route. Caught at the 10, the 5, still on his feet. Touchdown, Blackhawks! Oh, they're going to rule him short. Oh, I'm not sure about that, but they'll rule him just short, just shy of the end zone. So it'll be an 18-yard pickup.
He goes down to about the 1-yard line.
And Courtier just shy of the 6. So it'll bring up 1st and goal at the 1. Early second quarter. Blackhawks looking to go up here by 2 quarters. Enrique Adi in the game. Handoff Courtier, no problem, untouched. This time, touchdown Blackhawks. Alec Courtier was stopped just shy after that great reception. He would not be denied on the next play as he went in untouched right behind Drew Evans and Cade Hine on that left side of the line. They opened up a gigantic hole. Eli Cosson on for the extra point. Cosson's been pretty good so far this year. We'll count it 2 for 2 tonight. He boots that one all the way through by Video Row down there behind the goalpost. So Fort Atkinson 14, Sauk Prairie 0. Off to another impressive start here tonight. Courtier wide open on that left side. Again, give Drew Evans credit and Cade Hine along with Josh Juarez at the center position. They just cleared out that hole, and Courtier could have ran untouched for about 5 or 6 yards, I believe. So back deep will be Damian Wright Rodriguez. and Eddie Brunig. There's about 9 Brunigs on this team, and if you know anything about Sauk Prairie, Brunig is as common as the last name Anderson or Smith or Jones. Here comes Kassen's kick. It's a good one. It'll be Brunig taking at about the 14, 12. Crosses the 20, still on his feet, has a little bit of a hole, taken down just past the 35-yard line, where Sauk Prairie's offense will come out once again, trying to get something moving as they trail 14-0 early second quarter. Ball will be placed at their own 46-yard line.
The Eagles start 1st and 10 from the 36.
The ball is fumbled on the snap. Nobody really seems to be coming up real excited about who got the ball, as Brunig just never really had it in his hands, and they'll say Sauk Prairie will recover it. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the mishandled snap. Again, as the game continues, this is a conference game, although it's not Badger North and Badger South as most people have been familiar with. It's Badger Large and Badger Small, and Fort Atkinson, one of the largest schools in the Badger South, doing a great job this year as they're 1-0 in conference play so far. Brunig back to pass, hits his receiver. Nice job by the Hawks converging. Seth Plisky with the catch. Logan Rekub in on the hit, along with Dane Brost. And it'll be a gain of a long 4, we'll call it. 3rd and 6. 10:03 to go in the half. Ball on the near side of the field. Brunig keeps the ball on the play action, throws it downfield, has a receiver. It's caught. Was he staying in bounds? They're going to say yes, he was. Great catch by Brendan Larson. The coverage was there. It wasn't real tight, but man, oh man, Larson catching it with his toes right near the line. And it's a nice completion, moving the chains into Blackhawk territory. Inside the 40. Wow. That might be the best catch I've seen in the last handful of weeks. Brunig will just push forward on the quarterback keeper and pick up a great 6 yards.
Jackson Brannick made the carry for the Eagles. Tristan Hansen made the stop for the Blackhawks.
So we'll bring up 2nd and about 5.
2nd and 5, Eagles.
Brunig hands it off over to Hooper. Hooper tries to go on the far side and cut it up off the guard, and the Blackhawks right there to snuff it out. Looks like Sheldon Burnett once again in on that tackle.
Tackles by Patrick Kilty and Kate Cosson.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Eagles. Best drive of the night for Sauk Prairie. Some movement, and they finally get the call. You know, when I watch Sauk Prairie on film, watch them a little bit in 2 different games, they move a lot. I'm going to say they're not always called for it, but it seemed like they always do have a little flinch or whatever. That time there looked like there was a flinch a few plays before that wasn't called, and this one is called, so it'll move the Eagles back 5 yards and brings up 3rd and long. Check it, 2nd and long, 3rd and long. I was right. Brunig on the bootleg, throws it to nobody. I think there's a little miscommunication there, as the nearest receiver would have been Philip Brickle, an offensive lineman. Brickle, the right guard. He was honestly the nearest person closest to that ball. So a little miscommunication from the sophomore quarterback to the receiving corps. So 4th and long. Eagles will go for it. We'll see if they have to take a timeout. They're taking a long time to get this play in. Waiting for the back judge to put his hand up, which signals 10 seconds. Then he'll start counting down when it gets to 5, and I think that's what they're going to do. They're just going to take the timeout, and there it is. Timeout Sauk Prairie as Coach Randy Wallace tries to figure out what play they can run here on 4th and 8 to keep this drive alive. Again, if you're just joining us, the Blackhawks up 14-0. They got on the board on the opening drive. It was a 5-yard touchdown run by Evan Dudzik. Eli Kossin's kick was good. That was with 9:03 remaining in the first. And then on their drive at the end of the first quarter to start of the second quarter, Alec Courtier looked to be just shy of the end zone on a nice pass from Carson Baker. But on the next play, Courtier plunges in from 1 yard, and the Kossin extra point was good. So it was Blackhawks 14, Eagles 0. And that's where we stand right now with 8:07 to go here until halftime. Stay with us at halftime. The Fort Atkinson High School Palms team will be performing. And after their performance, I'll have a halftime interview with Brian Comer, longtime member of the Fort Atkinson High School Boosters. We'll talk about what the Booster Club has been doing for athletics here over the years. And I'll just throw out some random questions to Brian. We'll see how he does. Brunig back to pass, gets hit at the goal. Nice effort by Jace Elsing. Mason Brandel for Fort Atkinson was right there, ripped it out of Elsing's hand, will fall incomplete. Well, I'll say this, Brunig took a hit. Ball looked like it was going to flutter out of nowhere, and Elsing kind of reran his route, but so was Brandel right there and knocked it out of his hands for the incomplete pass. So Fort Atkinson, leading by 2 scores, will take over at their own 36-yard line. Baker on the run is Eli Kossin. Kossin in kind of a little shake and bake as he was in motion. Baker got Kossin the ball, and he was able to turn it upfield on the far side after he crossed the numbers. It'll be a 12-yard run. For Eli Kossin. Over 80 yards rushing for the Hawks here in this opening half. Well over 100 yards total offense when you include the 60 in the air by Carson Baker. Baker once again back to pass, is rushed out of the pocket. Pass is completed to Tyler Hartman, and Hartman will get 2 yards. Check it, Henrik Addy with the pass reception.
He's stopped by Tucker Hooper of the Eagles.
So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Blackhawks. Acosta on the far side of the field. Baker, little reverse handoff. Oh, it's a nice job with Zacco. Zacco's got opening, cuts it up between the numbers and the hash marks. And Nolan Zacco on the trick play gets huge yards after the double handoff. We'll call it 22 yards for Nolan Zacco.
And Sean Goodwin.
Zacco, a senior, defensive back, little receiver, that time getting a few carries on the ground. Once again, the line doing a great job clearing out some running space. 1st and 10 in the Eagles territory. Handoff Courtier. Gets hit, and the line pushes him forward another yard. It'll be 4 yards for Alec. 2nd and 6. Midway through the second quarter, Fort Atkinson 14, Blackhawks, or I should say Sauk Prairie 0. Patrick Kilty into the game at that lineman position. Gross and Acosta are the receivers on the near side, along with Zacco. Baker rolls out to his left. Has a receiver. It's Zacco at the sideline, catch and knocked out of bounds, but not before picking up the first down. Call it a 9-yard pickup for Zacco. Fourth different receiver to catch a pass from senior standout Carson Baker here tonight. Gross and Acosta on the far side. Handoff Courtier, left side. Courtier inside the 10-yard line for a gain of 7. So 2nd and 4. About 5 minutes left here until halftime. Again, stay tuned. Homs will have their performance, and after that will be a halftime interview with Blackhawk booster, longtime Blackhawk athletic supporter, Ryan Comer. Blackhawks looks a little disheveled on the offensive side. Coach is in the press box wanting the timeout. They don't get it relayed down to the field. Baker, flag throwing. Baker, guy open in the end zone, tipped around, incomplete pass. 2 flags on the play. One, obviously going to be a hold on the Blackhawks. The other one, I'm not sure because it's kind of thrown in a different spot. Risky pass by Baker. That was kind of a play that I think was broken from the get-go. The players weren't quite sure where they were going to line up. They decided to run the play anyways. And honestly, Sauk Prairie defended it well and tipped it down in the end zone. So it looks like there'll be offsetting penalties. So it'll be a hold on the Blackhawks. And I didn't see what the other penalty was on Sauk Prairie, but either way, it's a redo. Now we'll see if the Blackhawks elect to go to the same play and make sure they got the players in the proper position. 4:45 to go. That was pretty much the first time there's been a big, I should say, error on the Blackhawks' part. Not too bad in high school football through a quarter and a half. Baker back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, tucks it down and runs with it. 5 at the 2, dives in. What's the signal? Touchdown, Blackhawks! Carson Baker from 9 yards on the feet. Holy cow, Carson Baker. Flushed out of the pocket. There is a flag after the play, so the touchdown should stand, I believe. But wow, Baker flushed out of the pocket, started running with it, and then once he got to the 5, Sauk Prairie was converging. That's when he dove into the end zone and was able to get in there for the 6. We'll see now what happens with the penalty. If it's after the touchdown, the play will stand, and there it is. Touchdown, Fort Atkinson. Baker's is official. Baker with his first career rushing touchdown. It'll come when the second quarter with 4:38 to go. Costin's extra point is good. Again, Eli Costin has been fantastic in that kicking duty. He's only got 1 miss. He came in today's game going 5 of 6, the 1 miss. Very, very wet conditions last week up at Reedsburg, and when he went to kick on their first touchdown, I believe it was kind of a low snap and just wasn't able to really get anything going. So it's Fort Atkinson 21 as Costin's been perfect on the extra points tonight, 3 for 3. Fort Atkinson 21, Sauk Prairie 0. Again, if you're just joining us, it's been all Blackhawks. Sauk Prairie, though, coming off their best offensive drive, was snuffed out on downs. We'll see what the Blackhawk defense can do here as the first half winds down. The penalty is going to be on the Blackhawks after the touchdown. It was a personal foul, so it'll back them up 15 yards. Cosson backed up like it was going to be a 5-yard, tried to point it down, and then the official said, nope, keep going. So Cosson will put the kicking tee down at the 25. Two deep receivers will be at their own 40 for Sauk Prairie. It's Wright, Rodriguez, and Elsing. Check it, Wright, Rodriguez, and Brunig. Here comes the kick. It's a good one. It'll be Brunig, drops it at the 40, picks it up, crosses the 45. Still on his feet, taken down, and we have a flag on the tackle. It's Eddie Brunig, the senior, will pick up a good 13 yards on the kick. That's pretty good considering he muffed the kick before picking up those nice yards. Flag on the play. I'm going to assume it's in the area of a face mask. They're going to mark it off on Fort. So I still don't think they've really signaled what the penalty was, except they're going to mark it off, which will be pretty close to midfield. Going to be an offensive personal foul on the Blackhawks, 15 yards. So 30 yards in penalty by the Blackhawks on back-to-back plays on the special teams, or I should say one on the special teams, one on the offense, will bring Sauk Prairie with the ball in Blackhawk territory at the Hawks 43. Time to see what the defense can do here as a short field for the Eagles offense. Handoff to Wright Rodriguez, and he's hitting the backfield. Looks like Evan Dudzek was right there. Sheldon Burnett also in that area. Dudzek, though, again, a couple of nice tackles. For Dudzek, that's his third tackle for a loss on the season. Brunig back to pass. Hits his receiver. We'll see, he's going to say low pass. Good effort by Seth Pliski, but it'll say hit the ground before Pliski could come up with it. So it'll stay third and a long 11. Mike Schwartz, that nose tackle, doing a nice job clogging up the middle. Schwartz, a 6'4", 333-pound junior. Man in motion for the Eagles, and it's snapped directly to him. He loses it, picks it up, and now loses his footing, and it's Parker Hooper. Well, Eagles trying to do some fancy plays like the Blackhawks did. Unfortunately for the Eagles, it goes for a loss of 3. As it was a direct snap to Hooper, and he never really quite got it. And then when he was able to finally get it in, his momentum was leaning forward, and he just tripped to the turf here. So 4th and long with 3:15 to go, near midfield. Sauk Prairie looks like they're staying out there. And actually, after their last punt, which went for about 8 yards, I don't necessarily know if I blame them. Now there'll be another timeout taken by the Eagles. Again, if you're just joining us, it's been Fort Atkinson the whole game. Their opening drive they got in. At the start of the second quarter, they got another touchdown, this time by Alec Courtier, before Carson Baker would plunge in on it from 9 yards out. And Eli Cosson's been perfect from the extra point kicking duties for the 21-0 lead. Stay tuned at halftime. The Fort Atkinson Palms will be performing at midfield. And then an interview with the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Commer. Those that follow me on Twitter, usually before basketball games, I spy Brian Commer and tweet it out to like a Where's Waldo. Well, the Where's Waldo will be easy to find here at halftime, as he'll be standing right next to me at the Jones Dairy Farm press box. We'll talk about the Booster Club, everything they've done for athletics, especially in this pandemic situation. We'll talk a little bit about their Bags tournament coming up and their membership drive. But it's 4th and long. Sauk Prairie, 2 receivers near, 2 on the far. Right Dominguez in motion. Brunig back to pass. He's going to air it out downfield, and it'll be overthrown, and the Blackhawks, actually the Blackhawks had the best person available to catch it, would have been Cade Cosson. Even overthrew Cosson. And honestly, in that situation, Blackhawks were better to not intercept it, as the Blackhawks will take over with just under 3 minutes to go with the ball near midfield. Tristan Hansen coming into the game for Jack Opperman. Josh Juarez, the center, has been tremendous all season, breaks the huddle. Courtier in the backfield, Baker back to pass. They're going to air it out again. Receiver is caught by Haven Nilsson. First down, and that's a pickup of 10 yards. Actually, they're going to say just short of the first down. 5th different receiver for Baker, who's gone 8 of 9 for 81 yards. 2nd and 1. Baker back once again. Flushed out, tucks it down and runs with it. Breaks one, doesn't quite able to break the Jersey tackle, but it'll be enough as he'll get 4 yards on the run. And the Blackhawks will take a timeout with 2:10 left. Well, Baker just needed a few yards and saw that his receivers were covered downfield, tucked the ball and ran, and boy, if he could have escaped the Jersey tackle, he had a good 8-9 yards. Of course, Sauk Prairie would have been able to converge on him. Again, stay tuned at halftime. Pom's performance and Brian Commer interview, and then there'll be a little bit of a break. We'll let you know after the interview. Then we'll bring second half action here on Fort Atkinson High School YouTube channel and streaming live on our Facebook page, Fort Atkinson High School. 21-0, the Blackhawks would love nothing more to get one more score here on Youth Night. About 100 players playing tackle football in grades 4 through 8, and about another 100 playing flag football in the Parks and Rec program in K through 3. So youth football is alive and well here in Fort Atkinson. 1st and long, or 1st and 10, Baker goes to his right, throws it just before the scrimmage, the line, has his receiver downfield, Brost, simultaneous catch, who's got it? We're going to determine what the answer is. They haven't seen a signal yet from the officials. If it's a simultaneous catch, it should go to Brost, as Brost and the defensive back look to have gotten it at the same time. Still no signal from the official, and they're going to call it a touchback. Oh, I don't know about that. That's a tough call, as Baker's pass will go as for an interception, but not being a homer. Boy, that looked like that was almost a simultaneous catch between Brost and the defensive back. And in that situation, it goes to the offensive receiver. But the official didn't see it that way, and Coach Nelson wants the official to come over and try to explain that to him. And the official that made the call will tell another official to go explain it to Coach Nelson. There wasn't a call made right away, and I think that was part of the issue, was trying to see what the call was. There was a long call, and I think the official was trying to figure out who was going to come away with it in the scrum. Unfortunately, ruled it for Sauk Prairie. Brunig back to pass on 1st and 10, hits Right Rodriguez. Near the sideline, he'll turn it up for about 3 yards. Actually, check it, it'll be about 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 8. 1:54 to go, Sauk Prairie trailing by 3 scores with only 1 timeout remaining. Must have ruled him out of bounds as the clock has stopped. 2 receivers near, 1 to the far for the Eagles. Brunig back, chased out of the pocket, throws it downfield. Another tremendous effort and catch this time by Brendan Larson. Wow. Wow, that's what I'll say. That's a great catch for Larson. Be a 26-yard catch, moving the chains near midfield. 1:38 to go. Brunig hit in the backfield. Burnett will get credit for the sack, but boy, give Lance Schultz the assist as he was shot in there like a bolt from that linebacking position from the left side and flushed Brunig right to Sheldon Burnett as Burnett takes him down for a loss of 4. 2nd and 14, 1:12 to go. Brunig, quick hitter, sideline, feed in, no, incomplete pass. Boy, Brendan Larson has definitely been the #1 receiver for Brunig to try to go. Larson, 6'2" senior, has made some tremendous catches out there. Fortunately for the Hawks, 2 of the 3 have been ruled incomplete, out of bounds. So 3rd and long. Brunig right side throws off the off the shoulder pads of Bradley Brunig. Even if Brunig had caught it, it would have been 4th and long with the ball at midfield. Eagles need to get near the 43-yard line of the Hawks. So 58 seconds to go. We'll see if the Eagles elect to punt or if they're going to go for it. Again, the first time they punted, it went 8 yards. And they're going to punt. It'll be Bradley Brunig, the senior, tight end specialist. Grost and Casson back at their own 25-yard line. Good pressure by the Hawks. Good punt this time. And it'll be fair caught by Casson at the 30. So about a 30-yard punt for Brunig. Pretty good, considering he is under pressure from the Blackhawks special teams. 53 seconds left until halftime. We'll see. Do the Hawks take a shot downfield, or are they content with a 21-0 lead? Coming into halftime. And looks like they're going to take a few shots. Baker in the backfield along with Courtier. Baker back. Rolls to his right, hits Courtier. Courtier will pick up about 4. And the Blackhawks will take a timeout. So Baker, 9 of 11 for 85 yards unofficially here in the first half. Again, can't stress this enough. Carson Baker, the all-everything athlete, great basketball player for Coach Mike Hintz, who's on the football staff, but has been putting in the time over the years at that quarterback position, leading the workouts. While everything was shut down last year, rallied the team along with Cade Casson, always getting those guys down at the field along with Drew Evans, working on things themselves, working on a little 8-on-8 or whatever they had. They were down there constantly working out in the off season when there was no season. And it's showing here this year as Carson Baker's been absolutely tremendous. A little bit more confidence in the senior play caller. 45 seconds to go until intermission. Acosta and Brost on the far side. Check it, Acosta on the near side. Brost and Zacco on the far. Baker flushed out, rolls around, gets taken down after a gain of 3. Fort Atkinson not taking a timeout. They've got 1 left, 30 seconds and counting. Blackhawks with 3 receivers on the right. Baker. Quick hitter to Courtier. And Courtier will rumble short of the first down. And that's where it will end. And that's where we'll end at halftime. As the clock will tick down to 0. It'll be Fort Atkinson 21. Sauk Prairie 0. I'm going to step aside for a few minutes as the Fort Atkinson High School Poms is set to take the field in their dance routine. And after the Poms, we'll come back with an interview with Blackhawk Booster member Brian Comer. Stay tuned. Fort Atkinson 21, Sauk Prairie 0 at halftime here at Jones Dairy Farm Stadium. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Introducing the Fort Atkinson Pop Squad. This week they'll be performing a novel routine choreographed by the entire team. Give it up for your Blackhawk Poms.
I don't want to get in the way of a camera. Stretch.
your Fort Atkinson Marching Band. The band show this year is called the Phoenix, and today you'll get to see the start of the band rising up into something new. Today's show will feature Rise Up by Andre. Drum majors, Anton Cicito, Eleni Valkortsen, is your band ready? You may take the field.
Farm Stadium. That was the high school Palms team and the Fort Atkinson band performing at halftime. And now, for the performance of a lifetime, our halftime guest, longtime Blackhawk athletic supporter, longtime Booster Club member. You may have seen him from my tweets of where's Brian Comer? Well, the answer's pretty easy. He's right here standing next to me. Brian, thank you very much for joining me here at halftime tonight.
Happy to be here. You went down the list a long ways.
There was a long way. There's a lot of things. You know, you and your family have been, when you talk about Blackhawk sports, the Comer family definitely one of the ones that are constantly involved with players or without players. You're here right now as part of the Fort Atkinson Booster Club.
Yep.
Just talk a little bit real quick about what the Booster Club does out there for these high school athletes.
Sure thing, Brett. The Booster Club basically helps raise money and distribute it to the athletic teams at both middle school and the high school levels where the athletic budgets don't cut it. And so we supplement for all the different sports. If they have a need, they come and request to us. We have a board that oversees the funding generated by corporate sponsors, family memberships, and then also some fundraising efforts like the concession stand that everybody's enjoying tonight. We get to hang on to the proceeds from the concession stand at the football games to distribute to all the athletic programs for whatever their requests are.
Well, and so if you're interested in joining the Boosters, what's a couple of the ways that you can reach out to either a board member or how to become more involved for a fantastic program?
Yeah, absolutely. Any concession stand that you see here, any of the football concession stands, we have forms downstairs where people can sign up the traditional way. Also, our website is blackhawkboosterclub.org, and there's an automatic form to fill in and a PayPal form to fill out right there online. So $40 for a family membership, and one of the things that we do that goes overlooked a little bit is the Ford Healthcare trainer. Half of that money every year is paid for by the Booster Club, along with all the letters that the kids generate and the chenilles that they get. We feel it's a really important thing to sponsor so that there's some pride, a little Blackhawk pride still living.
You know what? And there is a lot of pride. When you're at the high school and you talk to these players that are letter winners, they do wear them with pride. And the trainer, like you mentioned, has been an absolutely godsend for Fort Atkinson, not just for football or the main sports, but I mean, they are there after school for any sport. They're there at home contests. I mean, they put in the hours. So we do thank you guys for helping fund that, because that is something that is needed at the high school level, but isn't always there for other schools.
Any of us who's had an athlete knows Sarah, and we got one of the best, and she does a great job for our kids, so we're thankful.
And you talked about, fundraising and stuff, and coming up you guys have a nice bags tournament for the Booster Club that you're looking to get some teams involved.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a come one, come all event. It's set up for Sunday the 19th. We're going to be at Rock River Lanes starting at 1 o'clock. Again, there's some of our social media has a poster out that you can go ahead and sign up online, or you can sign up tonight at the concession stand as well.
Have you been taken as a partner yet?
I have not.
Is there a reason that nobody's jumped on you as a partner yet? Are you not a good bags player? Are we?
We're not great. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you're still partnerless, let me know. Maybe I'll join you as your partner.
Would love to have you.
1 to 5 again at Rock River Lanes, and we'll talk more about that throughout this broadcast as well to help promote that for you guys.
Awesome.
As the teams come onto the field, now this is where we'll just kind of go sideways and kind of blindside you. I had Coach Mahoney up here, Athletic Director Mahoney up here last week.
Yep.
And, you guys are both busy guys. You're constantly at events. But I asked him, I'm a TV junkie and a movie junkie. What do you do to relax? What does Brian Comer turn on the TV to watch? Or are you a book guy?
Goodness. I won't be accused of being a book guy that much. Pretty much whatever's on. I don't know a series, but if there's something
ESPN or some sports,
Golf
right?
Channel gets me a lot. So
there we go. Well, that's good. Brian, thank you very much for joining us at halftime. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Brett.
If we're ever looking for Where's Brian during football games, it's easy. You're in the press box helping your dad out.
Roger that. And we appreciate seeing you here and this crowd here. Like, it's been, a long time coming. We really appreciate that.
It's been absolutely good as your mom's photobombing us in the background, but that's okay.
Solid.
It's a family thing.
First time on YouTube, right there.
There you go, right there. Thank you, Brian. Again, that was Brian Comer, the Booster Club member, longtime member. The president, Mike Opperman, was asked to join us. He's got some football duties, so he said, Brian, why don't you come join us? And so just, again, for those out there, Sunday, September 19th, the Bags tournament at Rock River Lanes will kick off kind of the high school social season for the Booster Club. He didn't talk about it, but usually in most years, they'll hold a big social in each season. There'll be one after a basketball game probably sometime in the winter. So again, just check with the any Booster Club membership. They're very active online on their Facebook page or on their Twitter feed. Again, we want to thank the High School Booster Club here at Fort Atkinson for many of the things that they contribute to make Fort Atkinson athletics just a little bit something special for these student athletes. And as we talk about the student athletes, there's about a few minutes remaining until the second half kickoff. And again, to recap the first half, boy, it was a half for the Blackhawks with 9:05 to go on the opening drive. Evan Dudzek from 5 yards out made it into the end zone. Eli Cossen's extra point was good, and it was Blackhawks 7, Sauk Prairie 0. It would stay that way through the remaining quarter, and at the start of the second quarter on a drive that kind of bridged between the two, it was Alec Courtier. After a nice 19-yard catch from Carson Baker just shy of the goal line, Courtier would get 6 points by going in the end zone. Cossen's extra point was good. It was Fort Atkinson 14, Sauk Prairie 0. And then with 4:38 remaining in the half, Carson Baker would scramble from 9 yards out, dive into the end zone. The Cossen extra point was good, and it was Blackhawks 21, Eagles 0, and that's where we stayed here at halftime. Again, for the Hawks, some stats, very impressive. One of the more impressive stat lines offensively for a team that has struggled over the years and really even week one struggled. Carson Baker from the quarterback position, 10 of 12 for 89 yards, has hit 5 different receivers. The main one being Jack Opperman, 2 catches for 32 yards. Alec Courtier with a couple of catches along with Ryan Acosta with 2 catches. On the rushing game, Alec Courtier, 55 yards, 44 shy of 1,000 yards rushing in his career. We'll see if he can pick up those 44 here in the second half or if it'll have to wait till next week. Evan Dudzic, 3 carries for 27 yards. Eli Cossen, 1 carry for 12. And Nolan Zacco, 1 carry for 22 yards. And that's where we stand here at halftime as we're getting set now for the opening kickoff of the second half. Again, thank you to Brian Comer for joining me at halftime. Longtime friend, longtime Blackhawk supporter. Family has been tremendous. His dad, if you ever hear a voice in the background, I'd put money on it that it was his dad, Junior Comer, otherwise known as Junior. You know you're famous, and you know you do a lot when you can get by with just the nickname Junior. Kickoff is good, and the Eagles will have a nice return back. It's going to be Eddie Brunig. Will get it to the 35-yard line, where the Blackhawks defense will come out looking to preserve this shutout so far. Again, the Eagles on the year have struggled. They're 0-3. Been outscored 155-15 going into the game. Ball at the Eagles' 35. Brunig. Schultz on the pressure. Brunig has to get rid of it quicker. And as he gets rid of it, the pressure by Schultz and Burnett make the pass go a little low, incomplete. Boy, Brunig didn't know what was going to get him first. Schultz coming in from the outside or Burnett just bull rushing in from the middle. 2nd and 10. Bunched formation for the Eagles. Handoff to Vills, who really has been quiet, and he's hitting the backfield for a loss of about 3. We'll see who they credit the tackle to. Looks like Burnett, along with Logan Reckham, in on that tackle. Reckham has had a few great games, too, from that linebacker position. 12 tackles, 3 of them for a loss, and 1 interception coming into tonight's game. So 3rd and long with 11-12 here in the 3rd. Youth night, great crowd on hand. Brunig will keep it. And there it is, Logan Reckham, another sack for the Hawks. This time, a sack for a loss of 8 yards, and Logan Reckham had a few sacks against West Bend West. Picks up another one here tonight against the Eagles. So the Eagles will punt. Cosson and Brost will be standing at between their own 40 and 45. Hawks looking to have good field position. Good pressure by Reckham. It'll be Cosson taking it midfield. 40, the 35, the 30, stays on the sideline. Pushed out of bounds near the 25-yard line. 25-yard kick return for Cade Cosson. The Blackhawk offense up 21-0, looking to do more damage. Acosta and Brost are the receivers on the far side. Nil Sustin bunched up by Opperman on the right. Handoff Courtier. Goes off right guard, gets the number, cuts it up the middle. Should say cut it up the midfield, and he'll pick up, we'll call it 4. Four-yard pickup for the senior tailback. Courtier, for a career, 194 yards, 960 yards, and 12 touchdowns, I should say, adding the one from tonight. Courtier once again muscles his way forward for a hard-fought 4. Unofficially with 63 yards, and it now brings up 3rd and a long 2. Baker on the knee in the huddle, calling the plays. Josh Juarez, the center, will break the huddle. Wing T base out of the shotgun, it's Baker. There's Courtier. Man in motion is Cosson, high snap, Baker takes it, cuts it to the 10, still on his feet, gets to about the 5 and pushed forward. They'll mark him down at about the 6 with forward progress. Nice 11-yard pickup by the quarterback. So a fresh set of downs. It'll be 1st and goal on the 7. 8:43 to go in the 3rd. Courtier and Dudzek in the backfield. Acosta, the receiver, to the left. Opperman, the tight end, on the right. It's Courtier. Courtier will actually lose about 2 yards. Out of 14 carries, that's the first time Courtier has been taken for a loss. Zacco and Brost checking into the game for Fort Atkinson. 2nd and goal on the 9. Courtier to the left of Baker. Acosta and Brost, the receivers, to the left. Cosson on the... That'll be Baker. Check it. Bounces it to the outside. The 5 pushed out of bounds to be taken out of bounds near the 2, we'll call it. Bills almost took out the official. That's on the goal line. It'll be a 7-yard gain for Baker. Boy, Baker looked like he was going to maybe get another 9-yard touchdown run. Pushed out of bounds at the 2, they'll call it. Yep. Yeah, we'll call it at the 2. 7:41 remaining in the third. Dudzek and Courtier in the backfield. High snap, handoff, Dudzek pushes forward, touchdown Blackhawks. Evan Dudzek with the second touchdown of the night. This time from 3. So with 7:37 to go in the third quarter, the Hawks up 27 I should say, extra point on the way is good. And now make it 28-0, the Blackhawks over the Eagles. Again, Fort Atkinson coming out. You always want to come out big. You always want to come out starting. You talk to any coach in games where there's halves or quarters, and you always want to come out strong. You want to start the game strong, and you want to start the quarter strong, and that's exactly what the Blackhawks have done here tonight as they started out on their opening drive, getting in the end zone of each half on their way to this nice 28-0 lead. So the Blackhawks, Eli Kossin will get set for the kickoff. Wright Rodriguez and Watson. Check it, Eddie Brunig near their 15, set to receive this kickoff. Wind blowing a little bit towards the north end zone, which the Blackhawks are kicking to. There'll be a squib kick taken at the 30. Oh, wow. What a barrel of a run. 71 not in the program, but definitely put a hurt there for the Blackhawks as he ran literally right over one Blackhawk defender before being taken down. So trailing 28-0 with 7:31 to go. Jackson Brunig will be in the shotgun, hands off to Vills. Got some room, breaks a tackle, he's at the 30. Blackhawk defense on the run, chase him down near the 20, brings him down at about the 17-yard line. We'll call it about a 36-yard run by Nolan Vills. Largest pickup of the night for Sauk Prairie, inside Blackhawk territory. Boy, Vills kind of went up the middle and then bounced it to the outside and had some room. Handoff over to Watson. Watson will pick up 3. You heard the name Drew Evans over the PA system. He gets the stop. Again, Evans was unable to play the first few weeks due to an illness. It's not COVID related, as he was down with the team, just wasn't able to perform. Blackhawks out to a 2-1 start, but I'll tell you, Coach Nelson and staff were excited to get him back. Handoff Watson, broken play, ripped and wrestled down to the ground by Drew Evans. Looks like Watson tried to bounce it off of Evans, and he just basically took Watson and threw him down. Evans has a very interesting story as an athlete here at Fort Atkinson. Competed at the state tournaments, did a great job in track and field in the shot put and discus. Wrestled his freshman year and then came out and played basketball the last 3. He's been a tremendous player on the basketball court, but really football and track and field has been his forte. Airs it out. There's a lot of contact down low. No flag on the play. looked like Tristan Hansen, or check it, Mason Brandel, in on the coverage of Damian Wright Rodriguez. A lot of contact made, but obviously uncatchable in the officials' eyes and in everybody's eyes. So it'll bring up 4th and 10. Check it, 4th and 9. So after that big pass play, Blackhawks defense, or I should say after that big run play by Nolan Vills, the Blackhawk defense has been spectacular once again. 3 receivers to the far. Brunig back to pass, going to go down the middle, overthrows his receiver. Again, the receiver was still kind of running towards the middle, and the pass was thrown more at the end of the end zone. So it'll be a turnover on downs. Again, not the first time we've seen a little miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver. Or just Jackson Brunig as a sophomore not being able to hit the target. So it'll be a turnover on downs. Blackhawks 28, Sauk Prairie 0. Fort Atkinson would love nothing more than to get in the end zone and have a running clock. They have not, after being victims to running clocks for many, many years and many, many games, they would love to be able to turn the tables. It's funny, the Blackhawks offense was out there ready to go. They broke the huddle when they realized Sauk Prairie wasn't out there, but the officials blowing the whistles, letting Sauk Prairie get set. Blackhawks will now do a quick snap once they're set. It's handed off. Wasn't able to see who it was as it was on the far side. Looks like it was Adi. Adi will pick up 2. Sixth player with rushing yards if you count Carson Baker. 5 different players catching the ball. That's called spreading the wealth. Out of the wing T offense, that's really what ends up happening. You may have one player like Courtier getting the bulk of the carries, but you need other people to kind of help misdirection. Adi once again with the carry. He's going to get whipped down just shy of the first down. Call it a gain of about 6. So it'll bring up 3rd and 2 on the Blackhawks' 26-yard line. Under 5 to go here in the 3rd. Handoff Courtier. He's going to push it towards the sideline, get the first down. A lot of contact made. Blackhawks blocking well on the outside, including Jack Opperman. Courtier will pick up the first down. We'll see where they spot it. Be about a gain of 5. So 1st and 10 on the Eagles, or check it, on the Hawks, 32. 4:46 in the 3rd. Courtier and Adi in the backfield. There goes Zacco in motion to the far side. Handoff Adi up the middle, hit right away, but he'll get maybe 1 yard. Blackhawks, Baker passes, hits Opperman. Opperman gets the first down, taken down at the 45. Nice gain of 13. And with that completion, Baker goes over 100 yards. If you noticed on the screen, there's a huge fire over, I should say a bonfire over by the new hotel. Man, it's Flame's got to be at least 3.5 feet high. Might have to see what I can do to broadcast over there next time. Be nice and toasty over there. I'd show that. Snap is fumbled. Baker will fall on it. So it'll be 2nd and 15. Opperman and Adi will check out, getting a little breather. 3:11 remaining in the third. It's been all Blackhawks. In fact, I would say this may be the sloppiest drive the Blackhawks have had, but they're still moving the ball and moving the chains. Sauk Prairie scrambling on defense. Handoff, double handoff, Courtier to Zacco once again. Zacco's got some room, crosses midfield. 45-40, taken down at the 35-yard line. The double handoff works once again. 24-yard pickup for Nolan Zacco. Picked up 2 more yards on the same play. That was ran in the first half to perfection. Michael Wargalat in the game at the wide receiver on the far side with Bros. Handoff Adi. Adi right up the middle. Oh, gets a nice chunk of yards. Adi's biggest pickup so far of the year will be 9. Just like that, Adi close to 20 yards on a handful of carries. 2nd and 1 for the Hawks. It's youth night here at Fort Atkinson. A great crowd on hand in the stadium, and honestly at halftime, not that many people left. Courtier handoff straight up the middle. First down pickup inside the 20. Keeps the feet moving. Forward progress will give them 7 on the play. $73 yards for the senior running back. $1:27 to go until jump around time. They used to do a mascot race. I don't know if they're doing that anymore. It's always fun. You always had a few mascots out there. They'd get students or teachers to participate. Adi gets the handoff, and he'll go nowhere. They say forward progress, gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's always interesting, always fun for the students to be able to dress up in different mascots and run a 40-yard dash. They didn't do it the first home game, and I'm not seeing any mascots lining up, so I'll have to talk to Coach Mahoney about that. I should say Athletic Director Mahoney. Czar of all sports in Fort Atkinson, Mahoney. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Blackhawks, if they can get it in here with the extra point, would get running clock for the remaining of the game. Baker back to pass. Down the middle, has his receiver Zacco, overthrows him just a smidge, incomplete. I think Baker wanted to hold on to it just a little longer, but was flushed out of the pocket by Nolan Vills. Boy, Vills, a junior, been kind of all over the place for the Eagles. One of the bright spots for this Sauk Prairie team. 3rd and 10, obvious 4-down territory. Courtier to the left of Baker. Baker has to take it down and run after getting flushed from the right side. He'll pick up about 5, so it'll bring up 4th and 5. Actually, they'll say 4 yards, so about 4th and 6. And the Blackhawks will go to the fourth quarter, leading 28-0 over Sauk Prairie. As you see the players raising their hands with the number 4. Fourth quarter, 1 more quarter to go, as the Palms team down there doing some stunting. And the Blackhawks doing a great job looking to once again jump around. If you're at home, now's the time to get excited. 12 minutes away from the Hawks, hopefully going 3-1 with two very nice, impressive home victories. Stay tuned at the end of the game. We will have a post-game interview with Blackhawk head coach Nick Nelson. He may bring up a few players. Last time we had Josh Juarez. Excellent interview. We had Cade Cosson. So stay tuned after the game. We'll have a post-game show. We'll recap the scoring. And then we'll have those interviews after Coach Nelson talks to the team. Again, if you're just joining us, the Blackhawks coming into the season 2-1, opening loss in week 1 to Milton before winning against West Bend West and on the road versus Reedsburg. Reedsburg, the weather was horrible. It was rainy and cool, but the Blackhawks overcame the weather and dominated the fourth quarter and came away with a 20-6 victory. Here we go, the start of the fourth quarter. 4th and 6. Baker, play action. Passes it up the middle, picked off after being tipped at the 5. Running it back, Wright Rodriguez. Down the sideline, we have a flag on the play. Down the sideline. And Wright Rodriguez will get the tipped pass for the INT, taking it all the way near the 40, but there's a flag. We'll see what the flag is on. It was on the return, so the interception will stand. If anything, I think it's going to be on the bench personnel. So I think they were too close to the sideline. That's exactly where the flag was throwing. Or it's going to be a hold. We'll see what they say. And it will be sideline interference. 2 hands behind the back equals sideline interference. And that actually is the second time it was called. One was on the opening drive, I believe. And so it'll be a 5-yard backup. So it'll be 1st and 10. On the 33-yard line as Vills will go forward and pick up a nice chunk of change. We'll call it 6. 2nd and 4. Near the 40-yard line of the Blackhawks. But Fort Atkinson leads 28-0 early in the 4th. Lance Schultz will run off the field. Gets a nice breather. Lance Schultz, one of the team captains of this defense. Schultz led the team coming into the game with 16 tackles. Brunig airs it out downfield. Short pass, but a nice job by Wright Rodriguez to come back for it. Evades 2 tacklers, taken down at the 24. Brunig just threw a Hail Mary up there, and give credit to Wright Rodriguez. He stayed with it, came back actually, and hauled it in and picked up a few more yards. We'll call it close to a 38, 39-yard pass play from Jackson Brunig to Damian Wright Rodriguez. Now the run up the middle will be Jackson Brunig for a pickup of 4, 2nd and 6. Checking into the game will be Drew Evans. Checking out Mike Schwartz. Brunig under center. Handoff Vills. Vills stiff arms, breaks 2 tackles inside the 10. The 5 stepped out of bounds. Official right there stepped out of bounds. They're going to call it at about the 7. So it'll be a 1st down pickup. Once again, nice run by Nolan Vills. Stiff armed the first defender and then basically just outran 2 more before being forced out of bounds near the 7. So 1st and goal. 10 minutes remains. Vills in the backfield, Brunig under center. Snap is goofy. I'm not sure what you call that. They're going to call it a false start. The snap kind of was like, I can't even describe it. I think it kind of, I don't know if it just hit the hands and popped up or if the center, Mason Stratham, just snapped it because he saw one of his line mates jump forward. Or if the false start was on the center. That's happened sometimes where you see they see the center kind of lean forward too much, loses balance, and just tried to snap it before the false start was called. Either way, it'll be a 5-yard penalty. Backs it up outside the 10, and Sauk Prairie wants to take a timeout. Deep in the Blackhawk territory, the Eagles looking to score. Again, I mentioned they had a hard time getting in the end zone. First game against Monroe, they lost 43-7. Against Beaver Dam in week 2, it was 35-8. And then against Mount Horeb Barneveld last week, it was 33-0. So this is a team that any chance they can get in the end zone, much like Ford a few years ago, game's out of hand possibly, but you just need to get some type of momentum, some type of confidence going. And for them, they're looking at, can we get in the end zone and get some points on the board, and then, hey, then let's see what happens. Can we get a stop? Can we do it a few more times, make it a game? But if anything, get in the end zone, create some of that confidence booster. For the Blackhawks, looks like their next series, they're going to go with their second string as Noah Meyer, the 6-foot senior quarterback, warming up on the sideline. Caden Bates snapping to him from the pistol. Sauk Prairie taking their time in their huddle as the officials kind of clapping, trying to get them going. Again, the officials will give them a few extra seconds in a situation like this, knowing that it's a team that's been struggling. And now they break the huddle. And we're set to go after the long timeout. Brunig back in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Second and goal on the 10. Brunig will have to run with it. Tries to get to the outside, and he's going to be arm wrestled down by Mason Dressler, I believe. Check it, Evan Dudzek. He'll pick up a hard-fought 2 yards, getting back to the 10. Actually, they'll say 1 yard as he didn't quite get to the 10. So it'll be second and goal at the 11. Running off the field is Parker Hooper. Had too many people in the huddle. Brunig and Vills in the backfield. Brunig back to pass. Up the middle, pass caught, touchdown! Damian Wright Rodriguez. As the Eagles get on the board with 9:21 to go in the fourth. As Jackson Brunig hits Damian Wright Rodriguez. The extra point attempt is blocked. Extra point by Eddie Brunig is blocked at the line. Couldn't quite tell who got in there. Looked like might have been Evan Dudzek. Jacob Ashland also there. So the extra point is blocked. So it'll be Fort Atkinson 28. Sauk Prairie 6 with 9:21 to go in this contest. And the Blackhawks will get the ball and I believe trot out their reserves, their second string. We'll try to bring as many of those names as we can. The sign of a good team is how well does your reserves push your starters. Talking to Coach Nelson in the preseason, he felt like they were pretty deep in some of the spots to really make those starters work hard. Try to improve every day and every game. That's exactly what this Blackhawk team has been. This is a much better team than what showed up on the field in week 1 against Milton on all 3 sides of the ball. Although the punting, the special teams have always been pretty solid. But I'll say this, the offense and the defense have been much better. Hands team out there for the Blackhawks. Looks like Grost is the lone guy back at the 20. Everyone else, the other 10 guys, bunched up at the 45 or 50. Eddie Brunick will do the kicking duties, and we'll see which side he elects to try to do an onside if he does. He'll do a little onside to the right side, and it's caught in the air by Zach Grossman, and he'll fall to the ground, and the Hawks will take over at the 46. Well, it's not called a hands team for nothing, I'll tell you that much. Grossman, a lineman, out there, fielding that little short pop-up like a true second baseman. I always wonder if they get the linemen out there and pop them up and see who can catch them. Grossman in the right place at the right time for the right area. Courtier, right side, up the middle, then gets a strong push for a gain of 4. Unofficially 77 yards for Courtier. 9 minutes to go until this one's in the books. Fort 28, Sauk Prairie 6. A couple Sauk Prairie guys talking to the officials. Not sure what about. But the ball is placed exactly at midfield. Courtier will come off the field, getting a much well-deserved break. We'll see if he gets back on at all. Looks like Adi and Dudzek in the backfield. Handoff, I believe, to Dudzek. He'll fall forward for 2. Again, well-balanced attack. I'll talk to Coach Nelson about that. 5 different players getting carries, 6 if you count the quarterback, Carson Baker, and 5 different receivers. Carson Baker hasn't had to go to the air too much in the second half, but he's 11 of 13 for 102 yards. Handoff, Dudzek. Left side, breaks it up at the numbers. He breaks free of tackle. The 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Blackhawks. Evan Dudzek, 49 yards for the Hawks. Just went off the right guard. For check at the left tackle, Cade Hine and Drew Evans. And Dudzek, after he broke free from one tackle, did the rest himself. For the touchdown, 3rd of the night. Evan Dudzek for the season has 4 touchdowns. Casson's extra point is good, so it's 7:37 to go. Dudzek with a 49-yard touchdown run as the Hawks lead 35-6. Well, I'll tell you what, another sign of a good team is when you get punched in the face, or in this case, let Sauk Prairie score. How do you respond? And boy, the Blackhawks came out. Zach Grossman doing a nice job catching the onside kick. A couple of nice runs by Evan Dudzek before breaking one for 49 yards. That's how you respond as the Hawks back up by 29 points. Again, about the only blemish for the Hawks was after the touchdown. A couple of big penalties backed them up on the kickoff and then on the kick return. That's really been the only downside. Otherwise, the Blackhawks once again at home at Jones Dairy Farm Stadium playing a tremendous game on all 3 sides. Nice low kick taken at the 18. Past the 30. Watson still on his feet. Check it. It's Brunig still on his feet. Taken down at the 33. So the Blackhawk defense will come out. Eli Kossin will go in there for his brother Cade. Cade getting a great rest after a fantastic game. Lance Schultz also on the bench. Again, we'll try to bring some of those guys out there on the field. Tyler Narcus out there. Dane Brost. Snap to Brunig. Be a quick hitter. It's going to be, I thought maybe they're going to look to pass it out of that as the pass was going backwards to Damian Wright Rodriguez. I was expecting kind of a flea flicker, a double pass in that situation. Wright Rodriguez just pulled it down, ran back to the original line of scrimmage. Looks like Jake Vergas out there and Josh Labdis as well. So 2nd and 10, under 7 minutes to go. Brunig goes downfield, overthrows his receiver. Great defense by Mason Brandel, step for step. Actually had one step in front of the intended receiver, Brendan Larson, I believe. As Brandel was right there, even had a step on Larson. But fantastic coverage and actually had help underneath. I wasn't sure who the Blackhawk player was. It might have been Eli Kossin, as he's at that safety position. Caden Bates checking into the game along with Carson Schrader. So 3rd and 10 on the 33-yard line. Brunig under center. Quick pass over to Vills. Vills is now going to do the double pass. Tipped. Incomplete. Well, I thought they were going to do it with Wright Rodriguez. They elect not to, but then they go back with Vills, and Vills' pass incomplete. Now they'll reset the clock, as I don't think it stopped on the incomplete pass. We'll put a few more seconds back on the clock. Now the punt team will come on 4th and 10. Trying to get a few more seconds left on the clock. Now they're set. 6:32 now remains. I think they added about 6 seconds. And now here comes a beautiful punt. Will be fielded by Eli Kossin at about the 25, 30, 35 hit, spun around, flag thrown. And the Blackhawks, depending on where the flag is for or against, have the ball at their own 38-yard line. So coming in to the game is Eli Kossin and Noah Meyer at the quarterback position. And the penalty is going to be on Sauk Prairie. I think it was a face mask call. 5 yards, so not a personal foul, not malicious. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Hawks' 43-yard line. Meyer and Kossin in the backfield. Check it, that was Tyler Narcus. Narcus gets the carry. Will rumble forward about 7. So so it'll be 2nd and 4. Now the starting lineman will get a nice round of applause, checking out of the game. I see Josh Labdis in there. I'll try to bring you some more of the names. Kind of hard when they're right at midfield. 2nd and 4 at the 50. Meyer will keep it and run with it. Meyer will pick up 4, just shy of the first down. Brings up 3rd and short. Cam Brown out there at the receiver. Brown will be the receiver nearest to us. We have a whistle on the play. It'll be a false start. Handoff was given to Tyler Hartman. It'll be a false start on Fort Atkinson, so we'll restart again. You see Carson Schrader out there on the offensive line. Meyer gets the play from the sidelines and runs back in. 5 minutes to go. Blackhawks have had this game in hand pretty much since the opening drive where they dominated. Hartman, the receiver on the near side. Brown, the receiver on the far side. Check it. Wargalet, receiver on the far side. Handoff to Narcus. Narcus barrels forward, picks up the first down. We'll give 10 yards for Tyler as he's got 17 on the night. In a few short games, Narcus, 5'10" junior. Chain is moved, stopping the clock momentarily. Again, next week the Hawks were supposed to play at Portage on Friday night. However, due to lack of officials, that game was moved now to Thursday. Because it's a road game, it won't be on the YouTube channel or Facebook feed. And it was a game that the radio station was going to cover on AM 940 WFAW. However, the game will not be covered, as to my knowledge. I won't be around, and I haven't heard from the station if they found a replacement. So the next radio broadcast will be the next home game, which will be 2 weeks from tonight, when Baraboo comes to Jones Dairy Farm Stadium. And that will be a good game. Timeout taken by Sauk Prairie. Baraboo coming into tonight. Again, the Badger North and South in football are no longer the case. It's Badger Big and Badger Little, and we're in the Little. And through the first conference games, which was basically last week, Fort Atkinson, Mount Horeb-Barneveld co-opting, Baraboo and Portage all at 1-0. And then you have Monona Grove, Stoughton, Reedsburg, and Sauk Prairie all at 0-1. I'm not able to access Twitter here at the high school when I'm not on the radio station, so I can't bring you any scores. But it'll be an interesting game to see Baraboo. Again, going to the small and large has helped a lot of these small schools. You know, Fort Atkinson can play Baraboo, can play Portage. These are teams that have been historically not real strong in the Badger North, but we never seem to really play more than one of them if we do. It was always the Wanakee and the DeForest. And that was always a big downfall for Fort Atkinson football in the last 10 years. But now, with this big and small, Fort Atkinson has a fighting shot in almost every single game so far this season. Handoff taken by Tyler Hartman. He slips in the backfield, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and Sauk Prairie will take a timeout with 4:06 left. Might as well use them. Can't take them back to Sauk Prairie. You know, the one thing I learned about Sauk Prairie, went there a few years ago when I was doing radio with Josh Smith. Josh, my longtime collaborator here on the radio station. We also had, I believe, Jacob Onak from the Daily Union. We ate at the first Culver's ever, located in Sauk Prairie. First Culver's ever is located in Sauk Prairie. Ate at it, and I got to tell you, it was just like any other Culver's. But still can say we ate at the first ever Culver's in Wisconsin. The other game I remember at Sauk Prairie was years and years ago when Fort Atkinson was playing. My broadcast partner, I was the color guy, Shane Sparks. There was about an hour and a half lightning delay, although the lightning, in everyone's opinion, was about 2 hours away, but you still could see it faintly off in the distance. They did not finish the last 7 minutes of the game, so we had to go back the following Saturday to finish off the game. Or I should say Shane Sparks had to go back on Saturday to finish off. I told him I'm out. I'm not going back to Sauk Prairie for 6 minutes of football. Plus, I had other things to do. I had work to do in the kids' situation at home as my wife was working. So, my two favorite stories about Sauk Prairie. One was fun, going to the first Culver's, and one was an hour and a half, 2 hour lightning delay, of which the lightning was barely visible. Now, the third down run went for naught, but a penalty on Sauk Prairie, illegal face mask, I believe. Personal foul moves it 15 yards. So it'll be 1st and 10 with 3:50 to go. Sauk Prairie out of timeout, so now it's just a matter of Fort can run this clock out if they get one more first down. You see the back judge raise his hand. You got 10 seconds, and then I'll start counting down from 5. Here's the hand up. Hand off Hartman. Hartman hit in the backfield, or check it, Narcus. Again, stay tuned. We'll bring you a post-game show. We'll do a $2 brats down at the concession stand. If I, had time, I would have ran down there and grabbed a brat. Again, the Booster Club running the concession stand. You heard Brian Comer at halftime. If not, go back and rewatch it. A lot of great things that the Booster Club is doing for Fort Atkinson High School athletics. One way to support them is by getting food here at the concession stand at any home football game. That money is used, spread around for the multiple sports Fort Atkinson High School does. Now, timeout Fort Atkinson, as I think they were going to get pretty close to a delay a game. So again, we'll keep it here as it'll be 2nd and long. Again, stay tuned afterwards. We'll bring you a post-game show. We'll bring you a scoring recap, some stats. They've been impressive, as well as a post-game interview with Blackhawk head coach Nick Nelson, and I believe a few players. Which players? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Again, with the win, the Blackhawks going to improve to 3-1 on the season, the best start they've had. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm going to tell you it's the best start they've had in probably close to 2 decades worth of football. You know, Blackhawks always had to start the season off playing the likes of non-conference opponents like DeForest, Wanakee, Reedsburg at the time when they were really good. I'll tell you what, it's hard to win when we weren't real talented and they were extremely talented. Handoff over to Narcus. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage or close to it. So it'll bring up 3rd and long. 2:24 to go. With the loss, Sauk Prairie will drop to 0-3. Next week, again, Fort Atkinson will travel to Portage. That game is on Thursday. Again, if you've been following high school athletics, or really any sports in general, they've been talking about an official shortage, and you're seeing it happen here. There's a lot of games on Thursdays, a lot of games on Saturdays spread throughout the state of Wisconsin because of the lack of officials, and that's what happened. Fort Atkinson at Portage Thursday night. Again, that game will not be on the YouTube or Facebook page, and as of now, not on the radio station on AM 940 WFAW. But we will be back the following week. Game will be on AM 940 WFAW. I'll have that call, and we'll have the live stream simulcast on the Fort Atkinson High School YouTube channel and Facebook Live. But next week, Reedsburg will travel to Sauk Prairie. Again, Reedsburg coming into tonight 0-3 overall after Fort Atkinson beat them last week. Monona Grove at Stoughton and Mount Horeb Barneveld at Baraboo. So a couple of good games on the dockets. In fact, if everyone wins tonight, that's 1, and everyone lost so far is lost. We'll have the two undefeated games next week. 3rd and long. Meyer will keep it. Hard fought, 3 yards. 4th and long with 1:40 to go. Again, it was youth night here at Fort Atkinson High School. About 50 kids in grades 6 through 8 playing tackle football. About 50 kids in grades 4 through 5 playing padded flag football, meaning they're using a helmet and shoulder pads. No tackling, but they do kind of block, and they will get used to wearing a football helmet. And then the kindergarten through 3rd grade, it's a park and rec program that I run as my full-time job. There's about 100 kids between K and 1 and our 2nd and 3rd grade league. I'm always looking for some youth football action. Stop down at Kiwanis Fields at Rock River Park next week. We got the 2nd and 3rd grade flag footballers tomorrow. But then the following week we'll have K through 3, we'll have the padded football, and we'll have a full complement in the 6th and 7th and 8th grade league. Blackhawks will turn the ball over on downs, but it's really for naught as Sauk Prairie will take over with 52 seconds remaining. This was a game the Blackhawks had in hand since the opening drive. You know, and on paper, Blackhawks looked like they should really roll. Unfortunately, I've seen enough high school sports to know that those games sometimes are trap games. Sauk Prairie could come out red hot. You could maybe be let down a little bit, especially after the nice win last week against Reedsburg on the road in the rain. Brunig will air it out downfield, has his person, and it's caught by Brendan Larson for the first down near midfield. But as I was saying, even though the game looked good on paper, you just never know, but the Blackhawks put that doubt away by halftime when they led 21-0 and really controlled the game. Pass complete to Brunig, from Brunig. Nice hit and tackle by Elliott Reith. Jared Savage out there for the Blackhawks. Another pass just falls short. Elio Acosta out on the field. Max Salazar wearing number 12. We have a player equipment issue as Eli Casson will have to come off the field. And it looks like Braden Sayer as well. Running onto the field will be Dylan Pakowitz, number 25. Eli Casson running off the field. Max Salazar, the defender nearest the Trips receiver. 3rd and long. Pressure put on by Albion Maine, and the pass is complete for the first down. Nice tackle by Jairo Julian. Along with Maine. Moves the chains, 13 seconds left. They'll blow the whistle dead to stop the clock to let the chains get set. So once again, a nice all-around game for the Blackhawks. All 3 sides, if you can see the fans starting to line up for one of the best traditions. Forget the 5th quarter by the Badger Band. I always like when the Blackhawks, after they shake hands with the opponents, will come and shake hands with all the Fort athletes. Oh, Brunig escapes the tackle, dumps one out, pass complete, just at the line of scrimmage. Pressure that time was put on by Jared Savage, and that is the final whistle, folks. Your Fort Atkinson Blackhawks improve to 3-1 on the year with a 35-6 victory over the Sauk Prairie Eagles. Stay tuned for our post-game show. We'll bring you a scoring recap, stats, and a post-game interview with Blackhawk head coach Nick Nelson, along with some Blackhawk players. Once again from Jones Dairy Farm Stadium, our regular game is now over. 35-6, the Blackhawks are victors. Again, welcome to our post-game show here at Jones Dairy Farm Stadium, where the Blackhawks improved to 3-1 on the season, beating Badger small conference opponent Sauk Prairie Eagles 35-6, and it was a game that the Blackhawks from opening kickoff had in the hand. It started with 9:05 remaining in the first quarter. Evan Dudzek would come in from 5 yards out for the first score of the night. Eli Kassin would make first of 6 extra point attempts, and the Hawks led 7-0. It would stay that way through the first quarter as the Blackhawks had the ball to end the first quarter. And to start the second quarter, Carson Baker would hit Alec Courtier. Looked like Courtier was pretty close to the end zone, but the officials ruled him out 1 yard shy. So the next play was given to Alec, and he blundered in from 1 yard out. And again, the extra point was good. It was 14-0 start of the second quarter. And then with 4:38 to go in the first half, Carson Baker scrambling around, diving in from 9 yards out. The extra point good. It was 21-0 at intermission. Things would start off on the right hand as the Blackhawks would get the ball on their first drive, and Evan Dudzek would score from 3 yards out with 7:37 remaining. After the extra point, it was Blackhawks 28, Eagles 0. After 28 unanswered points, the Eagles would battle back with 9:21 remaining in the game as Jackson Brunig would hit Damian Wright Rodriguez from 11 yards out for the touchdown. The extra point was blocked by a couple of Blackhawk players, and it was 28-6. Blackhawks then, on their next drive, just a minute and a half later, Evan Dudzek would break one from 49 yards out. The Kassin extra point was good, and it was 35-6, and that is where we finished tonight's ball game. Again, when you look at some leading key players for the Blackhawks, it starts with their seniors. Carson Baker in the air, unofficially 11 of 13 for 102 yards. He hit 5 different receivers. Ryan Acosta, 2 catches for 10. Jack Opperman, 3 catches for 46 yards. Enrique Ade had a catch for 2 yards. Nolan Zacco, a catch for 9 yards. And one more player, or I should say Haven Nilseston, with a catch for 10 yards as well. So again, Baker spreading the wealth to 5 different receivers. And then on the ground, it's the best running attack the Blackhawks have had all season long, as they had over, I'm going to say unofficially, close to 200 yards rushing. Unofficially, Alec Courtier, 17 carries for 77 yards and 1 touchdown. Evan Dudzek, 4 carries for 76 yards, including that 49-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter. Dudzek with 2 touchdowns. Check it, 3 touchdowns on the night for the Hawks. So 3 of his 4 carries ended up in the end zone. Eli Kassin with a run for 12. Enrique Ade had 5 runs for 15 yards. Nolan Zacco, 2 yards, or I should say 2 carries for a total of 46 yards on a back-to-back, I should say, reverse carry. Zacco both times being able to break it for some good chunk of chains. And then 2 other players, Tyler Narcus, 2 carries for 17 yards. And Alex Hartman, 1 carry for 4 yards. And now joining me for our post-game show, we'll start first with Blackhawk head coach Nick Nelson. And Coach, get the mic situation here settled on.
There you go, bro.
Oops, we'll get this figured out here. Better than the headsets we had. So you don't
A
have to
little
pass
bit,
the sweaty
little bit.
headsets. Coach, I'm just going to start off by saying, now this is the second home game in a row where you've really come out of the gate strong on both sides.
Yeah, we said in all week we wanted to jump early on these guys and kind of put the pressure on them, force them to throw. They had a strong running team. Number 40 back there, I wouldn't want to tackle him. So we knew if we could get out to the lead early, we knew we had an opportunity to put the pressure on them.
You know, after a few weeks of the passing game, just really not really quite being there, Carson Baker, a great night, unofficially 11 of 13 for over 100 yards. Looked to really hit, and you know, the thing was that I noticed, really spread the ball around, 5 different players receiving the ball.
Yeah, well, that's a real credit to the pass protection and the different athletes that we have out there. I don't know about that one interception in the end zone. I'd like to watch it back on film, but Carson, you know, he doesn't make too many mistakes out there. It's good. It's nice having a kid like that and taking snaps.
You know, and then defensive, real quickly, again, just another dominating performance. You know, they've got the score there at the end, but otherwise, that defense was one that just played absolutely great all game long.
Yeah, they play as a unit, and a big credit goes to our defensive coaches, Coach Rideout, Merrifield, Zacco, Walsh. They work really hard with those kids, and those kids, they listen, and they're very coachable, and when defense is playing as a team, it's hard to beat them.
Well, you got a short week as you play next Thursday against Sauk Prairie, so we'll let you go enjoy this.
Portage,
I mean. We play Sauk Prairie twice, right? Why not?
All right.
Portage next week. Good luck, Coach. Thank you. Joining me now is senior Evan Dudzek, and Evan, 4 carries, but you made the most of those 4 carries as you ended in the end zone 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
Just talk a little bit as you're out there, what you're seeing when you get that ball handed to you.
You know, when you have a great O-line like we do, I gotta hand it all to them, you know. Can't be a good running back without a good O-line like I got. They all played well. I found the holes and made it there. So.
You know, and defensively, again, you were kind of out there as well as the rest of the defense. From your position, what's one of the main things you want to try to bring almost to every play?
For me, I would say leadership. As a middle linebacker, I'm kind of, you know, doing it all. I'm kind of teaching the whole team what to do, like calling everything, and then I kind of just got to see everything. You got to fly around as a middle linebacker. You know, you got to go all over the place. So.
Well, you flew around on both sides of the ball. Go out there, enjoy the victory, and get the deserved rest.
Thank you.
Now joining me, you need a step stool. Last week I had Josh Juarez. Now I get I get Drew Evans. I'm going to have to talk to Coach about getting a smaller lineman in. Drew, I know it's been some time before you were able to get back on the field. How'd it feel?
This felt amazing, really. Great to be back. Yeah.
You know, I talked about it during the game that you and some of these other seniors really, over the last few years, especially with the COVID, really got this team, and you did a lot more workouts just individually as a team without coaches there in the off season. What benefits are you seeing out there from doing all those summer workouts and fall workouts and spring workouts when you guys weren't able to play?
Yeah, really just bigger, stronger, faster, you know. We really came together, everyone filled out, and just reps and reps. We're getting used to this.
So you played basketball, then you had about a week off. You had then you had the football season, and then a great track season.
Yep.
You had about 2 weeks off, and then football.
Yeah.
Go home and get some rest there, big fella.
All right, we'll do.
All right, that
Thank
was
you.
Drew Evans. All right, once again, it was a great all-around effort by the Blackhawks here tonight on their way to the 35-6 victory. That will do it from here from Fort Atkinson High School. I want to thank my halftime guest, Brian Comer from the Booster Club. I want to thank my post-game guests, Coach Nick Nelson, Drew Evans, and Evan Dudzek for joining me here up in the press box. I want to thank the producer, John Collins, for producing tonight's game. Again, we'll have a few weeks off as the Blackhawks travel to Portage next week on Thursday, but you'll be able to catch the next home game 2 weeks from tonight when the Baraboo Thunderbirds evade Jones Dairy Farm Stadium. Watch the game on Fort Atkinson High School YouTube channel and on the Facebook Live, and listen online at 940, on the radio at AM 940 WFAW. Once again from Jones Dairy Farm Stadium, I'm Brett Ketterman signing off. Fort Atkinson 35, Sauk Prairie 6.